Welcome to The Explainer. So, you're an apprentice project manager, right? And you've seen that phrase, working with stakeholders, pop up. It's actually a key skill S18 for your level 4 apprenticeship, to be exact. But what does it really mean? And more importantly, how do you prove you've actually mastered it? Well, in this explainer, we're gonna break it all down with a super simple analogy that's gonna completely change how you see your job.
Yeah, let's be real for a second. Trying to get everyone on the same page for your project, your team, your boss, people from other departments, it can feel like absolute chaos. It's like you're constantly chasing people, juggling a million different opinions. It is just overwhelming.
And this is exactly the spot Jody's in. She's an associate project manager apprentice over at Ibis Stores. She's just been handed her first big marketing project. And honestly, the number of people who have something to say about it is already making her head spin.
So Jody's feeling pretty stuck. She goes to her mentor, Adam, who gives her this piece of advice that is a total game changer. He just looks at her and says, "Jody, stop trying to herd cats. It's impossible. Instead, think of yourself as the conductor of an orchestra."
Okay, Jody's stakeholder orchestra, let's really get into this idea. How can thinking like a conductor help you nail skill S18, working with stakeholders, and get all that crucial evidence for your level 4 apprenticeship? Let's find out.
So first things first, who are these musicians in our orchestra? Well, in the world of project management, we call them stakeholders. And a stakeholder is pretty much anyone who has an interest in your project or is affected by it. We're talking your team, your line manager, other departments, maybe even your clients. Basically, everyone who has a part to play.
All right, section 2, reading the project score. You see, a great conductor would never step onto the podium without first reading the musical score, right? For a project manager, that score is your stakeholder analysis. It's all about figuring out who's in your orchestra and what part each of them plays. So Jody's coach, Olivia, gives her this really simple but incredibly powerful 4-step method. Step 1, just brainstorm. Get a piece of paper and list out every single person or group you can think of. No filtering. Then you ask 2 key questions. Who cares if this project succeeds? And who has the power to influence it? Do that, and boom, you've got your master list. Okay, so you have your list. Now what? You use this, the power/interest grid. Think of it like your orchestra's seating chart. And listen, this is a pro tip right here, because one of the biggest mistakes apprentices make is trying to give everyone the same amount of attention. You can't. This grid is your secret weapon to figure out where to focus your energy. And for Jody, this was a total light bulb moment. She uses the grid and immediately sees that her line manager, Riedel, from marketing, has super high power and super high interest. Riedel is in that top right box. She's a first violin. And your first violins, you have to manage them closely. They need your full focus. All right, you've got your musicians, you've got your seating chart. Now it's time for rehearsal. This is where the real work of stakeholder engagement begins. This is where you bring everyone together to communicate, get aligned, and hopefully create a bit of harmony. And what does every orchestra need? Sheet music. For you, that's your communication plan. It sets the tempo and makes sure everyone is literally on the same page. You've got to decide, how often are you talking to them? How are you talking to them? Emails, meetings, and what do they actually need to know? Of course, rehearsals are never perfect. Sooner or later, someone's gonna play an off-key note, a conflict is gonna pop up. For Jody, it happens when Riddle, her first violin, pushes back hard on a new deadline. Now, Jody's first instinct is to just say, look, the deadline has changed, that's it. But then she remembers Adam's advice. Just telling is a disaster waiting to happen. Engaging Riddle to find a solution, now that's conducting. You absolutely need a process for tuning these off-key notes. So Jody starts with step 1, negotiate. She actually sits down with Riddle, listens to her worries about marketing's resources, and they work together to find a compromise. And if that didn't work, her next move would have been mediation, maybe bringing in Adam, before ever having to think about escalating. Okay, the project is back on track, the symphony is sounding good. But for an apprentice like Jody, the job is not over. Not yet. Now she has to document everything in her App10 portfolio. You know, the system you use to track all your progress. This is how she proves she's actually mastered the skill. Olivia, her coach, gives her this amazing checklist. And for you as an apprentice, this is gold. Just look at how everything ties back to being a conductor. The power/interest grid, that's your seating chart. The communication plan, that's your sheet music. All those emails and meeting notes, that's proof you actually conducted the rehearsal. And check this out. This shows just how powerful simple, clear evidence can be. This little summary from Jody's report explains the problem, what she did about it, and the positive result. This is exactly what assessors are looking for in your portfolio.
And now for the grand finale. All this practice, all this documentation, it all leads up to your endpoint assessment, the EPA. This is the final test where you sit down with an assessor and show them you really know your stuff.
Okay, get ready for this one because you are almost guaranteed to get a question that sounds a lot like this. It's a classic. So how would Jody use her whole experience with Riddle and that marketing project to give the perfect answer? She uses the STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. Just look at how this structure lets her tell a really clear and powerful story. She sets the scene, explains her job, details the exact actions she took, referencing her stakeholder map and negotiation, and then she finishes with the amazing results. This is a model answer. You should absolutely use this.
So there you have it. Don't just be a project manager who herds cats. Be a conductor. You've got the score, you've got the sheet music, and now you have the techniques. By figuring out who your musicians are, communicating clearly, and tuning the orchestra when you need to, you won't just deliver a good project, you'll create a masterpiece. It's your turn to take the podium.